If you can't get anything out of a book, you didn't try. Hey there! Welcome to the first episode of Becoming Me 2.0. I'm Deedee, and today we're going to be going to Barnes & Noble to pick up my It Girl Era TBR, my July TBR, my Please God Let This Work TBR. Basically, it's a list that I've curated to help hopefully pull me out of this, not a reading slump, but just a spiritual slump, a soul slump that I've been in. I've been better. When people ask me how I'm doing, of course I say,
everything's great, amazing, how are you?
But internally, I know that I've been better and I want to get back to that better self. I want to be the best I've ever been spiritually. So if you can relate to any of that, then come along with me. Let's go pick up some books to get us out of this slump. I've got my bags, got my phone, got my camera. Let's go. Hey, so let's go to Barnes & Noble, shall we? Oh, I'm about to pass. So here's the game plan with the reading list. Here's my thought process. Before, when I did experience a major spiritual breakthrough, life breakthrough, it set my life on the trajectory where I was praying for things and knew for a fact that I was being answered. I was setting goals and reaching them and achieving them. And it didn't happen in a super quick, get rich quick kind of way. But over time, I was exactly where I wanted to be in the timeline that I had set for myself. And so I want to do that again, because I feel like now that I arrived at that original place that I had set a goal to be at, I feel like, Lord have mercy, don't mind this, guys. If this is going to trigger you, then I probably trigger you, because I'm doing my best out here. I'm trying to not be a perfectionist and get things done. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I feel like I have arrived at the last place that I set a goal. I said by 30, I wanted certain things. And then by 30, I had achieved those things. And so now I've kind of just been living in what the goals were that I set for myself at 30. And so I think it's time to set some new ones. I think it's time to get a vision for my life again. So I'm not just meandering in, my 28-year-old dream for myself. That is what Becoming Me 2.0 is all about. It's being intentional. It's being able to say, I designed this version of me, and really love the design, and then love the process of becoming the design. And so that's what we're doing. And it's just starting with something as simple as a It Girl TBR, a Glow Up TBR. I'm just getting back in the flow of reading, of learning new things, reading things that I agree with, seeing the things that I disagree with, and just getting back into that space. But also, I will definitely be reading some fun books, because I love to read fantasy. I love to read romance. I love to write. So I'm going to be doing those things that fulfill me, that I know that I enjoy and love. Honestly, I'm not a Barnes & Noble girly. I'm more of a order on Amazon and have it shipped to my favorite place, which is my house kind of a girly. But nevertheless, we're here. Hopefully we have some paperback versions of the books that I want, and we can get in and get out in under 20 minutes. That would be 2:30, and that would be lovely. So let's do this, you guys. Okay. Forget the tripod. I'm holding it. That was horrible. I have determined that Barnes & Noble is a place that you go when you don't know what you want and you just want to find something to read. If you're in a mood and you just want to see what's what. It is not a place to go if you don't love talking to people and you know the books you want, but you don't know what category they're in. You don't know where they're located in the store. And that was me. I was just roaming about. So I got 2 books I had no intention of getting. 1 book, just by chance, happened to be, facing out on the bookshelves. It's not a library. There's no system. There's barely a method to the madness. Is it in the psychology section, the spiritual section? I don't know. And so, yeah, it wasn't successful. And so I'm going to go home and order the books on Amazon. Spiritual partnerships. Okay, and I have officially just ordered all of the books, well, 90% of the books that I went there looking for on Amazon. They'll be here tomorrow, so I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, you guys, we're back. We got the books and we're ready to go. Finally, it's been like 3 days of me attempting to do this, but because it's my first time really like doing anything like this, I didn't really know what all it took, how long it takes, but needless to say, we're here. I got this stack of books. This is my July TBR. This is what I'm hoping, what I am praying brings me out of this emotional, I'm not in an emotional slump necessarily, but I'm not on the up and up. I'm kind of on the even. I'm kind of on the average. I'm kind of coasting, and I want to be designing my life. I want to be becoming the it girl, not what I thought was an it girl at 28. I've done that. I'm there. But what is it to me now? And so I'm hoping that these books that I have here inspire me this month. I'm going to read them. I'm going to read all of them. There's a significant amount of books here, and I think I might even be adding one more, but I don't know the title of it. I tried to take a screenshot of the book title, and it was a blurry mess, and so I might be reading that one as well, but I've got a list of books here, and I want to go through them. Oh, I forgot one. But that's okay, because we're here, and we're going to go through this, and then I'll go grab the other book that I'm thinking. Actually, it might be in my office. Probably is. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? So, the first book I'm going to do, these are This was okay, library here. Should I go there? Should we see if there's anything else we have on this list? There's only bookshelves in here. I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I get the girl. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can save this. I'm a little scared to go more than this. I've never done this before. So, the first book we have up is The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Deborah Ford. Okay, so it says, reclaim your power, creativity, brilliance, and dreams. You're going to see a theme here, right? So I did start this book before. I don't know or remember. I don't remember being impressed. I remember feeling like, okay, obviously, ChatGPT, give me a short synopsis of The Dark Side. Okay, so this book here, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers, is a self-help book by Debbie Ford. It focuses on understanding and accepting the shadow side of our personalities, the parts we often try to hide or deny. The book encourages readers to embrace all parts of themselves, both positive and negative, as a way to achieve wholeness and self-acceptance. So that is this book. It seems like a book, right? I'm sure I'm going to get something out of it. I always think, like, if you can't get anything out of a book, you didn't try. Like, everybody has something to offer, every book, even if it's realizing what you disagree with. There's something in every book. So I'm excited to read it, kind of. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. The next book I actually am excited to read because it was recommended to me by a friend. So this book is called The Rise by Sarah Lewis. Creativity, the Gift of Failure, and the Search for Mastery. I love the subtitle. I'm all about mastery. And and people who have found it and people who seem to be living a fulfilled life. Anytime someone that I perceive to be living a fulfilled life recommends a book, I'm just like, yes, maybe it's going to give me some insight into how they got that way. So, The Rise by Sarah Lewis. Let's see what we got. It highlights how some of our greatest learning experience involved a failure and the relentless pursuit of our goals. Okay, so The Rise is a nonfiction book written by Sarah Lewis that examines the important role of failure, the value of near wins in achieving mastery and success. She explores various fields, including the arts, science, athletics, to illustrate her points. We love illustrated points. The book emphasizes the often invisible and undervalued aspect of the entire creative process. Love that. How many of us fail and then we're just like, oh, I was never meant to succeed. Of course I failed. This is my lot in life. Okay, maybe I'm a little dramatic. Yeah, so that's The Rise. I love how creativity is like a running theme that I'm seeing in the subtitles of these books. Well, I'm not gonna lie, these two next books are very thick and I'm a little bit nervous. So next up we have The Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukov. What Oprah had to say about this book is, this book changed the way I see myself. It changed the way I view the world. So he delves into concepts such as karma, intuition, and the soul, suggesting that the alignment of the personality with the soul is the true essence of power. So we'll see how we feel about it. But if I can read, you know, a 700-page novel in like a day and a half, then I can read a 300-page book and it'll be fine. Spiritual Partnership by Gary Zukov. Again, this was recommended to me by a friend, and it says on the back, I'm just going to read the back because he probably put the best explanation of it on the back of his own book. And he says, spiritual partnership reveals a profound new dynamic which enables us to reach our full potential and create authentic power, the fulfilling and joyful life that is calling to us all. Spiritual partnerships are not only for couples in marriage or relationships, they can be created anywhere. Two or more individuals decide to engage as equals for the purpose of spiritual development. Right, I'm married, so of course I want a spiritual partnership, and I'm sure there's something that I can learn from here. There's something that I can take that'll help me be that it girl that I see for myself in the future. So yeah, that's Spiritual Partnerships. The next book that we have is Super Attractor by Gabby Bernstein. Is that her name? Gabrielle Bernstein. Yeah. In general, like, I just know that this is going to be a book I like. I've heard some quotes by her that I like. I'm sure there's things that I'll agree with and disagree with, but you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. She lays out the essential methods for manifesting a life beyond your wildest dreams. Super Attractor is a manifesto for confidently claiming your desires. You'll learn to do less and attract more. Relax and trust that what you desire is on the way. Know that spiritual guidance is available to you at all times. Feel a sense of awe each day as you witness miracles unfold. So that is Super Attractor by Gabrielle Bernstein and Methods for Manifesting a Life Beyond Your Wildest Dreams.
Side note loading.
To be honest with you, that is what I am on a journey to do. Also, I've done it before, and I didn't read Super Attractor to do it. I think that, and this is just like a side note, another book that I'm going to be reading for sure is the Bible, because I have achieved so many things in my life without following anything like this or doing anything like this, just by connecting with God, praying, reading my Bible, and trusting Him more than like the universe or anything. So that's definitely going to be playing a role, but also, you know, it's good to read. And so I'm going to be reading these books also. But I just wanted to say that I don't think that like self-help books are the catch-all end-all. And I think that the biggest shortcut you can take is a relationship with God, because He gave me like a crown of confidence to go out and do things and achieve things and believe in myself, not because I believed in myself, but because I knew He believed in me. And so that's just a side note. But I guess this next book comes up at a perfect time. So the next book that I'm going to read, because I really do want to get my relationship with God back on track. Whenever we feel disconnected from God, it is not on His part. It is on our part. And I know that like He is like water in a faucet. And the water is always there and available. And it just depends how much you have the nozzle turned. And right now, mine's not as open as it's been in the past. And that's the main thing that I think it takes for me to be an it girl. I can't speak for anybody else, but for me to be an it girl, me and God have to be like this, and we're not at the moment, and it's not on him, it's on me. So the book I'm reading is Bamboozled by Jesus. So this is by Yvonne Orji, How God Tricked Me into the Life of My Dreams. And honestly, I wouldn't say God tricked me into the life of my dreams. I would say he was patient with me into the life of my dreams. He loved me into the life of my dreams. He waited for me to be ready to just accept everything good that he had for me. And then, like, here we are, and we're at a good place, but I want him back. And so that is what this is all about. So Bamboozled by Jesus. Oh, let me read what it's about. Oh, well, it says it. How God Tricked Me into the Life of My Dreams. So I'm excited to read that one. And then the next two are really small. So next we have the Quantum Leap Strategy. So this one is by Price Pritchett, and it says, are you ready for a performance breakthrough? Of course I am. It's my It Girl July. So it's nice and short, and it adds to the number of books. So I'm going to go for it. And on days where I've read a lot of other things, I think this will be a great thing to add. So the next thing I'm going to do is The Unfolding. And it's by Price Pritchett too. A handbook for living strong, being efficient, and knowing happiness during uncertain times. I think that this will be a good one. I like books like this. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, that's not a real book. Listen, if you can say something in 36 pages, don't take 700 for me. I'll take it. So I'm excited. That's my reading list. I'm going to go grab a couple more books. I don't know where they're at, so I have to find them. But if I get through this book, I have a fantasy book that I get to read. It's like, but first I have to do, or maybe in between, maybe I read 3 books and I get to read like a certain amount of my fantasy book, because that's fun. This is fun adjacent, right? But it's not like the best time. It's like, eating is great in general. So like reading, it's great in general, but ice cream is better, and ice cream for me is like fantasy, right? So that is a reward. You don't just get to eat ice cream all the time. You need real food. And so this is my real food. I'm going to go look for that book now. Okay, so I didn't find all of the books. I was looking for a book called The Knowledge of the Holy by A.W. Tozer. And I think we'll see how it goes, but I might add that to my list of books to read in July. I don't have, maybe I'll insert a picture of it here. Because that's what the peoples do. But the other book, the fantasy book that I'm going to allow myself to read, depending upon how my actual It Girl reading list goes, is The Will of the Many. It says, at the elite Catan Academy, a young fugitive uncovers layered mysteries and world-changing secrets in this new fantasy series. So basically, there's this kid who goes to this school, and basically he tells the people that his parents died and he wants to join this school, and it's like a really, magical place. I'm so bad at this. But he's lying, and he really is there to destroy them and bring them down. So that's the plot. It's a mystery school. There's like magical teachings and stuff, and it's fun. And honestly, I don't think I've read a fantasy that had like a male main character, because I'm not that into it. I didn't like read the Harry Potter series growing up and like all that stuff. I started with Twilight, and that has pretty much, been the route I've taken as far as my reading for fun. So that is the TBR. Tell me, what would you guys read for your It Girl TBR? What's your It Girl book? What's the book that you think of when you're like, oh, that book changed the game for me? I'd love to know. I'd love to read it potentially. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're into the vibes, then hit like and maybe even subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. That's what they all say, so I'm gonna say it too. I'm not afraid to follow a trend or two. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. The next thing that I have up is a day in the life of a mom, a wife, an entrepreneur, and just a woman in general. So I hope if you guys like this, if you guys, if you're digging the vibes,